Dr. Homebrew is brought to you by 5 Star Chemicals, providing safety and cleaning supplies for brewing, distilling, and winemaking at 5starchemicals.com.
Doctor, look.
Stand aside, nurse. I'm Dr. Homebrew.
Stand clear.
Everybody, thanks for joining us. We have a pretty cool show for you today. I'm not going to lie about it.
It's pretty cool.
We have a couple good beers. I think they're both pumpkin beers, which is, look, we're kind of left over from the pumpkin season. I personally like pumpkin beers. I think they can be done a little messed up, but for the most part, I think people's hearts are in the right place. And they try real hard.
I don't think everybody should poo-poo them like they do.
Right, I agree.
I'll try them all. I don't like them all.
Well, no, but I don't like all beer. Well, there's a lot of terrible beer out there.
Yeah.
So I wonder if the amount of bad pumpkin beers out there is still within the same ratio of just bad beer in general.
It probably is, yeah. But you do want to balance it right, for sure.
Yes, it's very tough to do. So we're going to tackle a couple of those things today. But first, of course, I do want to tell you about our awesome sponsor, 5 Star. You can go to 5starchemicals.com right now and learn about all the reasons why you need to clean first before you sanitize. Right, Doc? You have to do it.
You can't sanitize crud.
You can't. No, we've been trying in the White House for years and years. We can't do it. I don't know what that means. But yeah, you have to clean everything first, man. And as new homebrewers out there, because I'm sure a couple of you are kind of noobs. There's products that tell you you can. You can't. You just can't do it. So do yourself a favor. Pick up some 5 Star products at a homebrew shop nearest you. And if they don't carry 5 Star products, and by the way, they're PBW, Star San, or like the keys, but there's a ton of other ones. Walk out. Vote with your wallet, man. Let people know that this is the product you're looking for, and you need it because I told you need it. And then
that's the why.
Yeah, and then you go on their Facebook page, 5 Star, and be like, JP at the Brewing Network told me that you are the only thing to use. And then they'll go, who is this? And they'll block you. But still, you get... No, I'm just kidding.
They mentioned JP, probably.
Right, they're like, oh, God, that guy.
Coming from the dark ages, where I did.
Right. Were you bleaching everything?
Before... Yeah, there's bleach, and I was rinsing it with Budweiser because I didn't trust my water. There was
actually kind of smart, yeah.
it's sanitary, so
should be.
But there just wasn't anything out there. Then we went to Iodophor.
Mm-hmm.
That was not so cool either, but it's better than bleach.
It's better,
so much better than bleach.
Right.
And then the 5 Star came out, and it just revolutionized everything.
Yeah.
It just makes your brew day so much easier.
Yes, totally, absolutely.
So
we're big 5 Star lovers here.
It's been around a while, so it's very well proven, and for me, there's no looking back.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And it's really the only product on the market that you should be using. I'm serious. So 5star.com, check them out, or 5starchemicals.com, excuse me. And, as with any of our sponsors, be sure and be vocal about these people, man. Their sponsors, their hard-earned dollar goes to us to promote their products because that's what advertising is. But it only works if you people respond and tell these companies that you buy their products from, hey, thanks for supporting the Brewing Network. Thanks for supporting Dr. Homebrew. It really goes a long way with them. We're all very small business people, and that kind of vocal minority, I guess, in a niche market. I don't know. It means a lot. So I'd appreciate it. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. We have a couple good beers coming up. One of the guys can't be with us tonight. Actually, maybe he can. I don't know. I'll check my email again. But I'm kind of excited, to be honest. Like I said, man, I like pumpkin beers.
Battle of the Pumpkins.
Battle of the Pumpkins.
May the greatest pumpkin win.
I thought I had something else to talk about, but I don't. I think during one of the breaks, I want to bust out this Flat Tail beer. I saw Dave from Flat Tail today. Went out to lunch. And it's a Damn Wild series ale brewed with Marionberries and pink peppercorns. So we're definitely going to do that. It's a wild
I've never
beer.
heard of pink peppercorns.
Well, you haven't lived yet, my friend.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can have some of that?
Yes, you can.
Sweet.
Brett, they have a proprietary strain of Brett. Anyway, so it's a sour beer. So, to the two Bryans, we have two Bryans on again.
Oh, no.
We're going to drink this beer afterwards, so don't worry about it. Okay, let's take a break real fast and give us some time to clean up some stuff here in the studio. And then we'll come back and we'll have Brian on, and then we'll have Brian on. So, this is Dr. Homebrew back after this.
Hello, fellow BNers. This is Sully from the 21st Amendment Brewery located in San Francisco, just 2 blocks from Giants Park. Before Nico and I opened the 21A and before I was a professional brewer, I homebrewed on my small 4-burner apartment stove in a back house in Santa Monica, California, making my extract brews before graduating to the daunting idea of all-grain brewing. Homebrew books and information was hard to come by back then. The internet hadn't been invented yet, along with other things we take for granted today, like electricity and potable water. One thing I wish I had back then when I was learning was a radio show that could teach me the ins and outs of brewing and answer questions that I had about homebrewing, a resource for making great craft beer. The 21st Amendment Brewery is excited to be a proud sponsor of Dr. Homebrew, a great show that teaches you what you need to know about making incredible beer. Good stuff. Listen up, you might learn something. I certainly did. And thanks for your support. Tasty Crack Games.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states, plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small, single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy shit.
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
Now, back to the examination.
All right, thanks for hanging out, everybody. As I mentioned before, Brian can't be with us tonight, which is too bad because I really do prefer it when we can talk to these people. But I kind of knew that going into it, and he was still cool with us drinking his beer. So that's all. That's all we really care about.
Boost them up.
Yeah. So this is a pumpkin chestnut porter. And actually, let's see if my notes I can bring up anything cool.
Nuts on your chest.
Yeah, bring up nuts on my chest, man. So if you want to be on the show, email jp@thebrewingnetwork.com, and then you too will get this handy-dandy little form that you have to fill out, and then you give me all the little notes and all that kind of nonsense, man. Yeah, see, he didn't fill any notes. Brian, you dick.
That's the last name?
I didn't do it.
Okay.
Sorry, this is going to be rough on me, this show.
That's all right.
What? What?
Okay, so you guys are already familiar with this beer, right?
Yes, intimately.
Yeah. Brian, why don't you start us off, man?
All right. Yeah, so this is declared as a pumpkin chestnut porter. So he judged it as a spice herb vegetable beer.
This one?
Yeah, and oh, you got a glass. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks.
So it comes across with a fairly rich maltiness in the nose and kind of a light roast and a little bit of a toffee-like character in the nose. I'm getting a bit of nuttiness, kind of the chestnut is coming through a little bit, but it's pretty faint. No obvious hop and no spiciness that I could detect. So, I don't know if it was just a porter that was aged with just pumpkins and none of the pumpkin spices that you have in a pumpkin spice beer. And that's part of the reason I wish we could chat with Brian about this. But that's okay. We'll just judge it as it is and go for it here. So it's kind of unassuming in the aroma. It's it's a little malty richness up front, but it's kind of everything's kind of blended together, and there's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it's just kind of middle of the road. So I would say maybe. It's not jumping out at me as a robust porter, but it has some maybe kind of brown porter-like characters to it, like a little mellower, easy drinking version of it. So, color-wise, it's a rich brown. It looks like it's pretty clear. Low light tan head that persisted fairly well, and mostly finer bubbles that kind of fades to a ring of. Little collar of pretty fine bubbles around the glass there. So appearance was pretty good, and the flavor-wise, it's again just kind of malty with the same elements as in the aroma. It's just kind of a general light roastiness, but not biting or intense. Just kind of smooth and some toffee-like. The one thing I would say is it's not very chocolatey, and I would like a little bit more of kind of a chocolate character in this to kind of bring that richness in. So it's kind of like a little bit of roast and a little bit of kind of, caramelly, toffee-like, toasty flavors in there. But, and I don't know if part of it is the nuttiness, coming in there and putting an edge on some of those things. But it's a pretty mellow, unassuming beer. The nuttiness is there, but it's also pretty light. It does linger in the aftertaste a little bit. But, again, not getting into those kind of characteristic pumpkin beer characters. Now that we have another beer coming up that's gingery, it almost has like a light little gingery flavor in the background here, too. I might just be psyching myself out. Anyway... there's no nutmeggy, spicy, rich pumpkin pie spices in there. So anyway, mouthfeel wise, it's medium bodied, medium low carbonation, no warmth, not very creamy smooth. I did get a bit of astringency in this beer. That could possibly come from over sparging it, or if there are spices in here, maybe the way they were used is giving it more of that than the rich flavors. I'm not sure how they were extracted, and we'll get to that if and when we ever get to talk to Brian. So yeah, I like the beer. Okay, I gave it a 32. I would bring up the chocolate a bit, and maybe declare some of the spices. It's kind of a little muddled and not really, nothing is popping through saying this is a pumpkin beer, or if I just tasted this beer blindly, I was like, well, it's a little nutty, but it's not really screaming chestnut to me either. So I'd like to find out how they added the nut and how did they put their nuts in this beer? Yeah.
Well, I mean, what do chestnuts taste like?
Well, I can tell you what they taste like roasted on an open fire.
It's the only way.
But so but I've never had that. So if I hear chestnuts, I'm not going to know.
We're West Coast boys. We can only read about them.
That's right, and it's not 1800s Midwest.
No, they still do it.
Do they?
Yeah, but it's so Midwest and East Coast. It's just we know.
I think chestnuts taste like romance and true love. It's an imaginary flavor that only a few people know about.
I get true romance out of this,
yeah,
but not.
I don't know. Hey, it's a magical thing.
Yeah, but, if you
ever taste it, you'll know it.
Probably. So I guess I can get a little bit like a walnutty, almondy thing.
Yeah, a little. Yeah.
So I'm taking that as that's the chestnut, but I wouldn't know if that's a chestnut or some other kind of leg.
Yeah, but it's not super almondy or praline-y. It's more like you said, kind of a mealy, walnutty kind of nut flavor rather than a rich nuttiness. So, yeah. It's an interesting beer. I thought it tasted pretty good. It seemed like it's pretty well brewed. So, if you have any notes on the recipe, we can chat about what you put into it.
I don't, unfortunately.
Okay. It's just beer.
Yeah, it's just beer at this point.
I'll shut up now.
That's all I have to
did you give a score?
That.
32.
Okay. Doc, your move, dude.
All right. So, generally, if I was going to judge the fill in the bottle, that was all great. Clean bottle, good fill, good start. Aroma, I got malt. I also got some little bit of weird astringency. Don't take this the wrong way, but it's almost like a cleaning product, like
5-star chemicals. That's right.
No.
I'm joking.
But there was something harsh about it. It's something in there. Probably it's malt driven.
Okay.
Mildewy might be pushing it, but kind of that slightness. And then one of the last whiffs I got a lot of mint. It was
mint.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't get mint, but I was with you to the cleaning product.
No, but you got to cover it, swirl it, and then
cleaning product. Go back to the cleaning product.
Cleaning product.
Here's a brand for you. Ready? Because I like to get brand specific.
Okay.
Simple Green.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Exactly. So there was something in it with that, but
totally Simple Green.
Yeah. So maybe then that's to me maybe because I associate green and mint, but I can't really get it right back again. But the two smells, three smells, it's like wow, mint.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that was definitely there. It's all an aroma. No hops at all, but I hate the fact that we're doing the aroma first instead of the appearance, but the aroma.
You don't have to go in order.
Well,
you can do whatever you want.
On this. Well, I kind of try to go past.
Of course you do. You can't go out of order.
Yeah, because I'm that anal.
Right.
But no, it had a nice head that came up really good. And it didn't last a long time. I'd say medium.
Yeah.
And it's still pretty good. The color and the clarity was spectacular. It was just
totally right.
Exactly.
Look at
that. It's on the kind of the cool ambery side of porter. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't call it a dark porter by any means. It's not black or opaque, but really good in that aspect. Getting a beer this clear is
tough.
It's tough.
Yeah.
And this thing is sparkling clear.
Yeah. And I think it's bottle conditioned too.
I don't know if I don't know.
No, it's not. No,
but
no.
Did you fine it? Did you filter it? I don't know. Sometimes when there's certain kind of filter that I use, so I use a couple of kinds, I will get that kind of weird flavor smell come out of that one. Because of the filter medium. That can come up if you're a filterer.
Okay.
I don't know. So just kind of one suggestion with there. So good on appearance all the way through. Get your 3 points, bud. I really hate that. I always have. So let's go with the flavor. It's supposed to be a pumpkin ale. If you really didn't mention that to me, I really probably would have just glossed it over. But, knowing that it's supposed to be there and I hunt for it, it's there. But it's really slight. It's
very subtle. I think that like Brian was saying, I want to know how he added the chestnut flavoring, because it feels like maybe it was an extract, and maybe he went overboard. In some extracts, you can get that kind of weird flavor, and so maybe so the chestnut extract is overpowering the kind of subtleness of the pumpkin. Because when you brew with pumpkin, it's pretty subtle. Unless you're doing the pumpkin pie spice. So I'm assuming, but that's what I would bet that happened here.
Oh, well, I think he just erred on the lesser side.
Yeah, and then on the chestnut extract, I think went too much with it.
Yeah,
that's my thought.
With the chestnutty thing, that's even hard to tell too. I'm getting dryness and astringency from that.
But you know what I mean? Like when I was at Morebeer researching new flavorings, there were a couple different brands, I forget the brands, where you'd add some and you kind of can get that chemically thing. It didn't taste like what the thing was supposed to be. And that's kind of what I get here with when you're saying the cleaning product.
Yeah.
So that's my theory on that. Damn it, Brian, I want to talk to you.
So that could be a good part of it. You never know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the chestnut is supposed to be kind of a starchy nut and pretty low fat. So it'd probably be good for brewing in that respect. It's not going to put a lot of fats in your beer to kill your head and kind of have a sweet presentation. But, I was looking at it, too, and I guess the American chestnut trees got pretty much decimated by this blight that came over from Asia. So, starting at the Bronx Zoo in 1904, if my sources are correct.
Thanks, Brian.
Anyway, so there's not, most of them are imported now, so the thing is. Anyway,
okay.
So, it's probably we don't see too many of them, especially out here.
No chestnut trees and no open fires. Oh, damn. So, I don't get a lot of other flavors in this thing, which was one of my whole detracting parts of the flavor in this thing, is it finishes so dry. I get nothing. There's no good malty sweetness to kind of make this a fun beer.
Yeah, a little sweetness would definitely help.
Definitely. It's supposed to be a porter, which should have some sweetness. It's supposed to be a pumpkin beer. It's supposed to have some sweetness to kind of back that thing. And I didn't get a lot of anything out of this beer. I'm underwhelmed with the flavors I was hoping to have.
Okay.
You want to maybe be judicious on the addition of the pumpkin, because if you add too much of it, you put 3 pounds of pumpkin in your beer, it's just sugars and starches that'll convert to sugars in your mash, and it'll dry it out, and then there you go. You got a watery, dry, insipid beer. So you want to use a little less pumpkin and bump up your mash temp to kind of get it to balance out and work, so you can get a reasonable finishing gravity and have a little bit of sweetness left in for a beer like this. I think that could be part of what happened here.
And this is a complex beer. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. You're doing a big porter. There's a bunch of malts. You're throwing in pumpkin, which that's pumpkin, spices, all kinds of stuff there. Then you throw in chestnuts, too.
Yep.
And do you roast the chestnuts? When do you throw them in?
A lot of levels.
There's a lot of stuff going on in this thing.
Yeah.
So, my biggest issue with this is it was a bit astringent too. Not just that comes across as a dry finish, but it's also, and then it keeps going. It's just like puckers you. You can get the astringency from the oak, and if it being, was there oak in this one? Maybe not.
None declared.
I don't think so.
Okay, I thought there were, but still, it's. You can get astringency from oak. So if you're going to be aged in an oak, you can get from that. But I think this is just overly dried, and it might have been overly sparged. But the main thing with this one is just not enough malty sweetness to give me that nice rounded dark beer, that chewable beer.
Yeah,
and I think that's the main thing. I didn't get any faults with this beer.
No, I mean, the flavors that are there are pretty good, and there's nothing that you say like, this is just this. You need to drop this down or kill that and do this to make it better. But it's balance things and fine points of the brewing procedure. Plus the nut addition. I would say if you're going to add the nut, you might want to roast it and put it in secondary. What would you do with it, Doc?
I would do exactly that.
Yeah.
I'll roast it and put it in the secondary.
Experiment with amounts so you're not overdoing it.
Mm-hmm. and it's just you really want to have something more to this beer. I can't check anything off in the bad area about you got diacetyl in this one, you did anything this except for maybe the astringency.
Okay,
is a bit of an issue.
Okay,
but having more malty sweetness, fun behind it, kind of thing. That's the main thing. It just seemed like it had a lot of tannins.
Yeah, that's easy to fix.
So it's a recipe thing, and the tannins are more of a process thing.
Yeah.
So
acidify your sparge water, keep it
right. Yeah. So all in all, not a really bad beer. It needs some fixing.
No.
Mm-hmm. It's a good beer to keep and move ahead with.
Right.
Try to make this
thing
base. Better.
Yeah. What'd you give it?
I gave it a 34.
Okay.
Which is a good, respectable score. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Were you thinking more brown porter too, or like robust?
Yeah. No.
It doesn't really have robust.
It was an easy drinking porter.
Yeah.
Look at the color. It's more in the light ambery kind of color. The mouth feels a lot lighter. So if you're going porter, I would go in the more the brown porter, the easier drinking stuff.
Yeah. Now I finished the sample too because it is an easy drinker and
it's
smooth,
a very easy drinker.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine points mostly, but balance and some slight process issues there going on. So yeah. But thanks for sharing it, Brian.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, for sure. Always like to drink some beers. You know what I'm trying to say? Okay, speaking of that, we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to drink another beer. It's Dr. Homebrew back after this.
Yay.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star San, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today. Admit it. Homebrewing is not always free of frustrations. Years ago, brothers Bill and Jim Mitchell decided to minimize those frustrations and create an entirely new brewing process and a brand new kitchen appliance, the Pico Brew Zymatic. The Zymatic sits on your kitchen counter and connects to the internet via Wi-Fi. It comes with access to a huge recipe library full of award-winning beers and can brew your next batch at the push of a button. Improve repeatability and refine your recipes with the Pico Brew Zymatic. With minimal cleaning and hassle, the Zymatic enables anyone to brew craft beer in the comfort of their own kitchen. Just add your ingredients and the process of homebrewing becomes simplified and automatic, allowing you to focus on what really matters while you brew. At Pico Brew, they believe everyone should be able to enjoy the art of homebrewing and make their own damn good craft beer. See the Zymatic in action today at picobrew.com.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but we're going to have to pour you out.
Back to Dr. Homebrew.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Last pumpkin beer, I'm going to imagine the last pumpkin beer of the season.
Maybe.
Of last year's season. This is another Brian who can't join us. I don't know where he is. He's supposed to be on Skype. Brian
number 3?
Brian number 2. Second Brian. Well, yeah, we have Brian number 3. But these are Brians with Y's.
I would like to think I'm number 1.
2 Brians with
Brian.
both spelling with Y's. Let me reach over. This is an oak-aged Jack-o'-lantern ale, and so we judged one of his beers on, not the last show, but the show before, the first one in January, actually. So he'd sent down like 3 different types of these beers. So I thought, let's just do it. And I think we had the one that was not oak-aged last time. So now this is the oak-aged one.
Cool.
So let's do that. Doc, why don't you start off, man? You already jumped into that beer.
Oh, yes, I did. All right.
Yes, I did do that.
So generally, bottle looked good. You know, start with that. It had a label on it, so you must be kind of well into your home brewing and the fact that you actually make a label and there's a lot of info on that label. So thanks for sending that. So aroma-wise, I got a lot of solvent. I got a lot of nail polish. Kind of like painted oak.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of oak flavor, too.
There's a lot of oak in there.
Yeah. So not only that, but like I said, painted oak. It's kind of goes with the solventy and the...
Okay. Painted oak. That's a Docism if I've ever heard it.
Okay.
I get it.
You can smell yellow painted oak.
Totally, I'm with you. I just would never thought of that, so that's why it's a Docism.
Yes. Well, I'm just trying to, paint a picture in your mind.
I think you're doing a great job at it.
Okay, awesome. And there's got a lot of stuff going on in the aroma, and some of these beers, I smell them and I almost get nothing.
Yeah.
Just nothing out of them. This one's got a lot of things going on.
It's a very fragrant, pungent beer.
Yeah.
Has 3 on phenolic at the same time, so it's got a lot of stuff going on just in the smell.
Okay.
Out of place, yeah. The nail polish and the solvent, it's
shouldn't be there.
Shouldn't be there. Some of it's from the oak. You get that kind of aged wood smell to it. It's not particularly off-putting, except you do get a lot of vanilla from it too. So that's pretty much oaky.
Is that like more American oak? You think? Like vanilla coconut.
Yeah. Definitely vanilla coconut.
Yeah.
Good call.
Thanks, man. I know my wood.
Well, it doesn't have that
my wood and my
spicy
chestnuts
character that the other oaks get.
Yes. Yeah.
But definitely coconut.
I'd swear there's booze in here. I know we talked about it before, because I know in some of this he put in Maker's Mark, and the notes are a little bit unclear, but I would swear to God that there's Maker's Mark in here.
I can't confirm nor deny that one. But it makes sense because it's a lot of smell going on here that you wouldn't normally get in beer. So there's some adjuncts possibly, like maybe some Maker's Mark or maybe something. But there's definitely a lot of smells going on in there. So, on the aroma issue, you got knocked down a bit just because there was unbeer smells to it. Even with the oak and everything else, there was just a lot of unbeer smells to it. Then you're looking at appearance. Super clear, super nice looking beer. Almost made me sad it smelled that way. But
it is a very interesting looking beer. What is it? Like a dark copper, like a copper red or something?
Yeah, it's
orangey.
Yeah, it's with some orange going on
copper.
there.
Yeah, it's
fascinating.
Rich amber.
I wouldn't go into like a red ale that far, but anything. But it's a beautiful looking beer.
Yeah,
it's clear. The head comes up, fades away pretty quick. Looking at it, I'm not afraid to drink it. Some of these beers, sometimes you get just like it's got chunks or whatever, and it's a little tough to nuzzle up to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so the big thing up to this point is going to be the aroma. Just way too many things that are unbeer-like in there. Flavor-wise, I didn't get a lot of malt. I got some residual sweetness on it. Really dry, tart finish to it. Lots of tannins from the oak. It And it comes. Just noticed in my notes here, JP, that it comes across as alcoholic.
Yeah,
very alcoholic.
I give you that. That's for sure.
And
well, it's 8. He has on the label 8% ABV.
Yeah. And it doesn't, but it doesn't come across as hot, like bad alcohol.
No, you know it's there, but that's about it. And it's not. It's
oh
not
no, you can tell right away that it's a high alcohol beer, but it hides it well.
Alcohol, yeah, it does.
It does hide it well.
Yeah.
So I kind of get that in the flavor too.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of for. Did we say what was the porter supposedly, or did we say what it was?
He didn't say.
Just pumpkin something.
I mean, it's 55% Maris Otter, 21% Two Row, 5% Victory.
So no.
2% Crystal 40, 2% Crystal 80.
No,
candied ginger root, milk sugar, corn sugar.
Okay.
Aged on light oak, he says.
The main distracting thing is a lot of oak, and it's not just a lot of oak, but it's also a lot of tannins from the oak. Maybe it's a little bit thin. I'd like a little bit more malt to it to kind of bolster it up on the back end a little bit. Overall, not a bad beer. I give it a 32. I would drink more than one probably. It's not a bad beer. It could be made better.
Yeah.
Not manufactured better necessarily, but I'm thinking just more of a recipe issue.
Okay.
And a little bit on the back off on the time on the oak.
Yeah. A little too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pumpkin wise, it's much more than the last one.
Much more than I would personally get rid of the ginger root. I think that's kind of throwing the candied ginger root to me.
Yeah.
I think there's a little prickliness that the ginger can give maybe in there, and I wonder if that's just combining with all the other the deeper flavors that he has. I think what we were talking about last show is that he put the ginger root in to kind of brighten everything up, but I don't know that it's working.
Well, he put quite a lot of ginger in it too, if I recall.
I think he did.
Yeah.
It definitely tastes
heavy dose,
candied.
Yeah.
But it melds with the oak kind of well.
I think you're right. I think he has a good thing going. I think he's like 80% there.
Yeah.
I really do, because if I remember correctly, again, he wanted to have something big to drink during the winter, and this is a huge beer. It's
but
it's very complex beer.
But it's not malty big enough. It needs a little bit. It needs more mouthfeel.
Yeah, it's more sweet than malty.
Yeah,
if that makes sense,
exactly.
right? Okay,
yeah.
All right.
And it actually could be perceived sweetness from the ginger root because it's
okay.
Because it's not really cloying like it didn't finish down far enough. It's not like that.
I think that's why he put the ginger root in, maybe to clear it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what did you already give the score? I'm sorry.
32.
32.
Yeah.
All right. Brian, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Doc said there. In the aroma, it does have a pleasant spiciness with smooth ginger notes up front. That's the first thing I got. Low kind of bready and caramelly notes from the malt beneath that, and some smooth alcohol. It seems like maybe a spicy alcohol, but that could also be from the ginger, because it's not hot or super fusely or anything like that. It's just it's an intense aroma, and you could maybe imagine that you're smelling fusels or something, or too much wood character. But to me, what I mostly get is ginger. Kind of moderate fruity esters. It almost has like kind of a cinnamony character. And yeah, like I said, the wood to me was not too obvious in the aroma, but there's a bit of it there, and it does kind of present itself in kind of a boozy way. But I'm not getting obvious booze either. It's like, does it have bourbon? Does it have? I'm not really getting any characteristic that would, and the vanillins are not very heavy. Just a little bit of vanillin from the wood, but not like a boozy thing there. So it's pretty light. If there is any booze, it's subtle and blended in with everything else that's there. Yeah, color-wise, it's this rich, kind of deep amber, almost coppery color, but with an orangey tinges to it. and a low off-white head that sticks around for a while. The first sample I poured was a little bit hazier than this one. This one is pretty clear. I had it as moderately hazy, but I would maybe bump it up. This one's pretty clear. So, but yeah, flavor-wise, again, just the ginger kind of wins out. It's a clean, spicy ginger, sweet, kind of a sweet, candy-like ginger, balanced with the malt and some smooth alcohol. It's kind of got a medium-low oaky flavor. To me, Doc thought the oak was a little heavy. There's so much else going on here that I think if the oak was any heavier, it would be rough to take. But it's not too high. It's in there, but it's kind of it's gentle enough that it's not poking out too hard and hurting my taste buds there. So it's it's not in the mouthfeel, not super tanniny. I mean, there's a low tannic edge from the wood, but not too much. Seemed like a fairly clean ale fermentation. I'm not getting any really bad stuff, DMS diacetyl, acetaldehyde. But yeah, it's definitely balanced the spice. And as it warms up, you get a lot of that spice in the aftertaste. Yeah, and the ginger just sticks around. So there's again a bit of wood in the aftertaste with that. I'm not getting any typical kind of pumpkin ale character. But that being said, you might want to have some nutmeg, some cinnamon, some allspice, something else in there that would say, "Hi, I'm a pumpkin pie beer," But this doesn't really have that. It's just the ginger, but for some reason it still kind of works.
Yeah, I wonder if you say brewed with pumpkin versus calling it a pumpkin beer. I think that would help you differentiate, because brewed with pumpkin, okay, if you don't really get it in there, it's not too bad, because we all know it's relatively a subtle flavor, especially with a bunch of crystal malts, right? But pumpkin beer, I think everybody's going to assume that there's some spices to, nutmeg, allspice kind of stuff, right? I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Or maybe they're expecting more.
It's like, I used pumpkin as a starch source, and that's it. There's no spice.
You may or may not taste it.
You won't taste it unless you really dig. Yeah. That could be, some people do that. You make a pumpkin IPA where there's no spices, and you just use the pumpkin to dry out your Imperial IPA or something. That might be fun. For those of you who like IPAs so much, like
yeah, Doc and I love IPAs. We go out to the bars every night, just chugging IPAs.
We don't go to any place that's less than 5 on tap.
Wow,
that's right.
Yeah,
which is every place.
You walk in, you look at the bit list, you go 4, peace.
Yeah. So yeah, mouthfeel wise on it, kind of medium full bodied. It's kind of deceptively. It's a pretty big beer, so it's despite all that's going on, it's still fairly smooth. And the carbonation was kind of medium-low, and it has a low warmth from the alcohol, possibly also from the ginger, a little bite from the spice. Again, a low tannic edge from the wood, and it's not very creamy smooth. It's not biting and hugely astringent, but you get a little bit from the wood there. It seems like a well-brewed beer overall. It comes across mostly as declared. The gingery spice is the only note making an appearance here. It's a bit of a one-trick pony, but it still somehow works. The wood character is pretty good where it is. I don't think you could, if there was less ginger in here, you could get away with bringing that up a little bit, because I don't think it's even, I wouldn't bring it up necessarily, but I'm not getting the same intense strong wood character that Doc was. So JP kind of seemed to agree with him there, so maybe you're the tiebreaker.
Maybe.
I personally think that the wood is kind of in check here, and just everything else that's going on makes it seem sharper than it is.
Yeah,
more
trust
than
me,
it is.
Maybe.
I've had much more oak in a beer.
Yeah, I mean, I've had beers with tons of oak.
I've made more.
This is not.
I'm just saying that this is on the high side.
You're saying it's a fine point. Yeah, you could lower it a little bit. Or
exactly.
If other things were out of the way, you probably would taste it more, maybe.
Yeah, this isn't a slap in the face oak beer by
any
means.
No,
but it's a little aggressive.
It's a little on the high side, but you change a few other. There's a lot of stuff going on in this beer. And, so
if you did bring up the oak at all, you definitely want to back off the ginger and some of the other stuff here, the alcohol even, and otherwise all your elements are just going to fight. But it's an interesting beer, and it does seem to dry out where it needs to be. It's not super sweet. It kind of the finish is kind of right, so the spice has a little sweetness to go with it, and that works. I don't know. It's an interesting beer. Like I said, it's kind of 80% of the way there, and you just need to play with it a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's.
But if you really like ginger and this is what you want in your beer, go for it. Brew a lot of this. Also has a really nice label.
I didn't read the label. I just looked at the pictures.
Yeah, there's some pictures on it.
There's a picture on it.
Yeah. Did you give him a score, Bri? I'm sorry.
I got distracted by the label. Sorry. Yeah. The heels and the pumpkin bear midriff shirt there, but I gave it a 35. It's not too, not. It's a very good beer.
Awesome. Okay, so then, Brian, since you're the king of the numbers here, who wins the Grog Tag, at least your beer will look good, $40 gift certificate?
Well, that's easy. It's Brian.
Oh, it's Brian! Hey, wait, who? Which Brian? The one with the Y?
Brian Pumpkin Chestnut Porter, Brian.
All right. Brian, look at you, man. You're going to walk away with $40, dude. $40 make you holler.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's appropriate to say. Cool. Well, and of course, just for playing along, Brian's, you're both going to get a cool little pack from 5 Star Chemicals, and that's pretty cool. And then anybody else who's disappointed they didn't win the Grog Tag gift certificate, go to grogtag.com. And, God, I think we might have I don't know. Anyway, leave them a note. Tell them you heard about us or heard about them on the Dr. Homebrew show, the best show on the radio.
Yeah, watch out.
You want to try some of this flat tail beer?
Yeah.
We have I mean,
some glasses, right?
Yeah.
Is that an IPA thing?
We have a little bit of time. And Dave was so nice to drop this beer off. Actually, to be honest with you guys, he gave.
Oh wow!
He
Look
gave
at the color of that thing.
He gave me this beer, and instead of hoarding it, I'm sharing it with my friends.
Wonderful.
You got friends?
Yeah, well, you guys, right?
Wait,
aren't we friends, guys? Guys?
We are tonight.
Why you
got a beer?
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Keep those BN paychecks coming. We're friends. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah. What's that?
I'm not pouring myself any because I don't drink this shit. No, I'm kidding. So this is the Damn Wild series, Marionberries and Pink Peppercorns, and it's a Brett beer.
Wow.
Brett and Lacto with Tettnang, Corvallis Marionberries. Which I think sounds like a really cool cheerleading team or something. The Corvallis Marionberries, acidulated malt, Wireman wheat, Pilsner malt. It's all Wireman. Wireman pills, Wireman wheat, Wireman acidulated.
Why?
No wonder they're broke. Come on, guys. What are you doing?
I was brewing a nice red beer.
What do you think of this beer? It's pink.
It's pinkish red.
It's a pink beer. I can smell the peppercorns.
Sounds like the color of my prom dress.
Mm-hmm.
You almost spit your beer, didn't you?
That's a good beer.
That's a really good color, and it tastes good, too.
Yeah.
It's not overwhelmingly acidic or bready.
On one side or the other, it's not overly berry-y. There's a berry
like
quality, but the the pink peppercorn isn't aggressive, but I think it cleans out like the tip of the tongue. Does that make sense?
Brian,
there's like a red grape kind of or pink wine kind of character to it. You know what I mean?
Through. Did you look up pink peppercorns? So.
No, I was
What's the
on
history of the pink peppercorn?
I've never heard of pink peppercorns.
Which is a cultivar of blackberry, but yeah. Well, I think it's just there's the black peppercorns, and then there's like the green ones, and then
there's some white ones.
And the white ones.
I've never heard of the pink ones. Red ones? What is it?
Yeah,
is it actually peppercorns, or there's something in that?
Pink peppercorn. Yeah, that's just a weird fucking ingredient, man.
They're kind of reddish, you know. Yeah, it
exists.
It says pink peppercorns.
It exists, yes.
It's not like that magical
It's a real
stuff?
thing.
All right.
They're kind of reddish in color. It's a dried berry of the shrub Chinus mole.
Kind of looks like
commonly known as the Peruvian pepper tree.
Cranberry juice.
It does look like cranberry juice. You can get away with putting this in a bottle and sneak into a concert.
Clear up my bladder, in fact.
Yeah, it's a dried berry.
This is like really nice.
It smells weird. It smells like a little like gasoline or something, right? Like a little like not gasoline, but
like okay when you
like that weird rope. You know that rope that smells
sisal rope.
Yeah, I guess.
Or when you open up your dad's trunk from his car, that you know, open it in a while. Yeah, like
the trunk of a Volkswagen.
Oh, no, that's different.
No.
No. My dad used to have these nasty cars. Just he didn't care if it got it from point A to point B, and there smells like that.
Maybe he was drinking Marionberries and popping pink peppercorns and then farting a lot.
Could be.
Maybe. All right. Well, I think we can get
pink peppercorns are not a true peppercorn, but the ripe berry of the Brazilian pepper tree.
That's what I was getting at. Is it like
so? It's a berry. It's not. You're not.
It's not a peppercorn, but it looks like one of the. You named it that, and
because the beer is not peppery at all.
No,
it's not.
It's pink.
So it's a berry.
It's a beautiful color. Yeah, it's a berry.
Freaking flat-tailed dudes, man. They're ripping us off.
I had a feeling that it was.
Oh, we got a phone call.
Okay.
Our first phone
Maybe
call.
it's Brian.
Maybe it's Brian. Hello, caller. You're on Dr. Homebrew.
Well, hello there, Dr. Homebrew. How are you doing tonight?
Dave from Flat Tail Brewing Company.
There he is.
Indubitably.
Hi, yeah. So we're drinking this beer, and we've come to find out that pink peppercorns aren't actually peppercorns.
They are not.
What do you have to say
they're
for
actually
yourself?
a berry. Yeah, almost like strawberries. All right, they're kind of posers, but we still love them.
Did you just learn this because you were listening to our show and you had no idea either?
No, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
How did you add your peppercorns? Please tell us.
Whirlpool.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Why are they called peppercorns?
Because the flavor, resembles a peppercorn.
It's a Brazilian pepper tree.
Like peppercorns.
Brazilian pepper tree.
Oh, okay, there you go. That fact was better than mine.
Did you crush them when you add them to the whirlpool, or?
Yeah, so we'll take
soft
a
berry?
15-barrel batch, and we use about a pound and a half, I want to say, for 15 barrels. Run them through a coffee grinder, and they go directly into just muslin bag, and then into the whirlpool.
Well, what's their consistency when you get them? Are they like tough fruit? Are they like grape like?
No, you can just crush them between two fingers. Very light, not like a green or black peppercorn.
Okay.
Very hard, impossible to crush by hand. These are almost like small dried berries.
Not seedy.
Okay.
So kind of like a small cranberry or something, kind of just.
Yeah, but without the moisture, they're very brittle.
Oh, okay.
But,
so you just crush them and they powder off.
Just like my ego.
Yep. Exactly.
I would take more peppercorns in there.
They're crushed on the size of virgins.
We played around with that a lot, and the latest batch I thought was a little heavy on the peppercorns.
Really? Well, I mean, no. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, honestly, the only place I tasted is like on the very tip of my tongue. There's a couple tinkle things going on.
I taste the Marionberry, but there's
in that beer too.
But yeah,
maybe. I don't know. You know what?
It's nice because the sour flavors play well with. It's not like a heavy, like biting Brett character or biting lactic. It's just it's sour enough that you call it a sour beer. It's plenty sour, but it's not
good,
like a teeth meltingly sour, harsh, biting sour beer. It's got a little, an element of a hint of sweetness, although it's probably not sweet. It's just that it hints at it with the berries.
The perceived sweetness.
Yeah, perceived. I like it. I like it a lot. I like the color too. It's a beautiful beer.
I think it's a good gateway beer. You try to get people into sour beers. This is a good baby steps.
Yeah. One of the biggest comments we get is actually how mild the Brett and lacto character is, which is ironic since it's literally only fermented with Brett and lacto.
Yeah.
But I think the Marionberries help out a lot there. Obviously, it's pretty fruit-forward beer, and we use all fresh fruit, so it varies a little bit batch to batch.
I want you guys to do a collaboration with the Rare Barrel.
Well, yeah, no,
That's what I
don't know about that. Their beer's kind of just awesome in every way. So
yeah, well,
I don't know
because
if I want to slum it like that.
Because I mean, look,
they don't have enough GABF medals yet. They've only got like 5 or 6 this year, right?
Let's be honest. Most of your beer sucks, but this beer is really good. I think you might be turning into a sour brewery.
Well, just maybe. It's a pretty
you're
cool
telling them they
process.
should.
We can pump it out fast. So, yeah, we're actually planning on rolling out a bunch of different damn wild variations.
That's
Nice. Cool.
I was just kidding by the your beer sucks. Only most of it.
Yeah, well, you know what, JP?
Suck it.
No, man, I'm glad you called. We just decided, like I said, you dropped this off to me earlier this afternoon, and I was like, fuck it, I'll bring it into the people that I work with.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for tasting it. And if any homebrewers want to try our new method, the kind of 2-tank method to get these fast sours without doing kettle souring, and you're in the Corvallis area, we always have a reactor full of lacto and one full of Brett. So happy to give that out to anybody that wants to play around with it.
Oh, wow, that's awesome, man.
Cool.
You're such a good guy, Dave.
Yeah, I try a little bit sometimes.
You sure do. All right, man, we'll let you go. Enjoy the night on Grindr or whatever.
I don't know what that is, but you have a great night as well.
All right, buddy. Later.
Grindr you keep speaking of.
It's like Tinder, but for, men.
Just men?
Just men, I think. I think it's gay men, right, isn't it?
Well,
gay men?
Well, I think we established that when I said just men.
Okay, all right, you're right. All right, thanks for everybody for listening. Thanks to all of our sponsors, of course. If you like any radio like this, you'll love the other programs that we have on the Brewing Network. So go and explore and check things out. I try to keep this show to be the only really clean show. Not a lot of inappropriate jokes, and maybe I'll cuss a couple times, but for the most part, everything's fine. So, if you don't like any of that nonsense, we're the show. But, if you want a little more fart jokes and whatever.
Our dirty jokes are like a pig jumped in the mud.
Right.
Want to hear a clean joke? Pig took a bath.
And, if you want stuff like this, we're your
We've
dude.
got more of that. Where that came
Please
from.
no more of that.
All right, Doc, thanks for joining us again, man.
Of course.
And, Brian, as always, good to see you. And, we'll check you all next time.
JP, the hostess with the mostest.
I almost signed out as in ears up. But I've
never heard that. Can we do it?
Yeah. All right, everybody, keep your ears up.
We taste your homebrew, so you don't have to.
That's right. I do too many podcasts. I need to get paid for some of these. All right, everyone, take it easy. We'll see you later.